Hey friends, welcome back to Wish You Love Podcast. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Marilyn.
And welcome back to another episode drop. Today is December 26th, aka Queen Marilyn's birthday. I hope you guys all wish her a happy birthday. Comment below. Comment on our Instagram. We all love Marilyn. I know I love Marilyn. So happy birthday.
Thank you. And since we're on the topic of birthdays, I'm turning 26 today on the 26th, so it's my golden birthday. And I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about birthdays? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you feel like whatever? Some people don't even like people singing happy birthday, but how do you feel about birthdays, Jasmine?
I love birthdays. I think birthdays are my favorite holiday. That's what I always tell people.
Yeah.
I think birthdays are just the time to celebrate life. And
Exactly.
Everything that person or yourself has achieved and given to others. So I love birthdays.
Me too. I feel exactly the same because so many people, they try to tell me like, don't you just hate your birthday? It's the day after Christmas. Also, Merry Christmas. I know we said it in the last episode, but it was yesterday, so hope you guys had a good Christmas. But people always tell me, don't you just hate your birthday because, you know, it's the day after Christmas, people forget about you. And no, my family, my friends, my birthday, just like Jasmine says, feels like a holiday. It feels so, I don't know, I just feel so loved on my birthday. So I absolutely love I'm about to say the holiday. I love my birthday and I'm so excited. I wanted to also tell you guys, I passed my big exam I was telling you guys about. Yay! And we celebrated together with all my other close friends. And it was such a nice evening, and you guys will probably post it on our social media. And so be sure to follow us at Wish You Love Pod and also our individual accounts if you would like. So this episode is going to really be about, I had an epiphany 2 nights before the big exam. And so we're going to be talking about that. And remember how you guys heard me talking about this exam, and it was very anxiety filling, and I just didn't know if I was going to pass. There was a possibility of failure, and for me, I just wasn't okay with that. At the same time, I felt like I couldn't control my future. It was a possibility, right? And so I started studying exactly a month before the exam, but as the days were getting closer, I was getting more and more worried because there was just so much to study and there was so much to do before the big day, and I just felt so like I'm not going to have time to finish, you know? So a little backstory is I just feel that I've always been filled with fear ever since I was a little girl. Fear of getting in trouble, fear of disappointing my parents, fear of getting married too old and not being able to have children, fear of dying at childbirth, fear of just so many things. I can honestly say after this epiphany that I had, I'm no longer afraid of any of those things. And of course, it's a work in progress, but I've never felt like this before. So 2 nights before, I was exhausted, but my house was a mess, so I had to clean. So when I clean, I usually listen to a podcast, and I was listening to a Joel Osteen podcast, and I'll put the link down below if you guys want to hear it, and it's called Faith Not Fear. And in this episode, obviously he explains it so beautifully, but from the message that I got, and a disclaimer as well, I know that you guys know that he's Christian and stuff, but you guys can take this message for whatever your beliefs in, because faith could be faith in anything you believe in, right? Some people believe in the universe, some people believe in Jesus. Jesus will be in this case, but just take this message for how it fits your life. Hopefully I explained that well. He was explaining that whatever you meditate on will take root. So if you're constantly thinking you're going to fail, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're probably going to do that because you're putting all of that energy, those affirmations, all those fears into play. And so after that message, I was just like, oh no, like I cannot be thinking like this then, right? I can't even think about failing, right? And I also said, just as faith can bring in good things, fear can bring in negative things as well. Once again, affirmating. And he was also just saying, just don't even invite those negative thoughts and to have faith rather than fear. Because I feel that now looking back, it's so much easier to be scared, so much easier to expect failure than it is to believe in the good, right? And that could be for anything. And I feel that I've kind of grew up around negative people, of just always expecting the worst. And now when people try to affirmate that stuff, like when they say, oh, wait till you have kids, oh, wait till, like, then you'll know. No, I'm not taking those affirmations that you're setting onto my life. My kids will be blessed. My kids will be filled with abundance. They'll be kind. They'll be loving. They'll be compassionate. I know that because I'm praying over that now. I'm affirmating. I'm saying that. I'm not going to expect my children to be mean, to be a brat, to be mean to me, to not love me. Like, those are things that I'm not going to even think about, because people have told me that. They're like, wait till you have a kid. Or, you know, the thoughts of myself, like, oh my goodness, there's a possibility of failure. Why are you thinking about that? You have everything within you to accomplish this goal that you've been working towards. And so I had to tell myself, Marilyn, 1.5 years you've been in this master's program preparing you for this last moment. A month of studying. In the last 2 weeks I took off of work, of just studying hours on end, 10 hours every single day, back to back to back. The only time I had a break was lunch or something like that, like restroom, even then. And I had 90 pages of notes. Another class was 80 pages. Another one was, I think, 65. Like, I put in the work. And so I just had to believe in myself. And so that's what I'm telling you guys, is that if you have something in your life that you're scared of, or that you feel that it may not happen, or that I can't do it, you can do it. Why even think like that? You know, because, for example, in this exam, I prayed to God and I told him, Lord, I pray that when I sit down at the exam, I look at all the questions and I know the answers. In fact, Lord, I pray that I'll finish before even the 5 hours, because people were telling me that they ran out of time, they didn't finish, or that they did it to the last second, or that their hands cramped up, or that they had a panic attack, or that they cried. And those are all real situations. Those were their experiences. But I really feel, because of this message, I didn't have that experience. When I looked at the questions, everything I said, affirmated, prayed for, it came true. And I looked at those questions and I was smiling ear to ear, because I'm like, I studied, I know this, let me do it. Because the professor waits, like, do you have any questions? Things like that. And I was like, I'm ready, professor. Like, I'm ready to do it. And sure enough, I finished a half an hour before it was due. I read every single line on the paper. And right when I finished that last line, 2 rainbows shined on my face. And I was like, that's God telling me, you passed, you did it, don't worry about it. And even after that test, you had to have faith that I did okay, because you can let anxiety eat you up. People were telling me I was nauseous, I was sick, like I couldn't even do anything. That was all that I was thinking about. And although, yes, I kept checking my email because I wanted to know, but in the end of the day, I did have comfort that I'm like, I did good. I can rest now. And even the power of writing things down is super powerful. That's why me and Jazmine tell you to journal, because that is super, super powerful in your life. I'm gonna put the link down below. I made a video of becoming a master, and it was like a Star Wars video. I made this 2 weeks before I even took the exam, and I put in there that I passed, and everything that I put in that video was exactly how it went. How teaching methodologies was the last thing. SLA, even in the video, when I put second language acquisition, that was the hardest question on my exam. And you can see in the video, Luke Skywalker, he's like fighting so many droids, and it was like probably the hardest fight within the video. And that's exactly how it happened. And it's just the power of affirmations. And so, yeah, so I just want to ask you guys the question of, has there been a moment in your life where fear has taken root into your heart, and you said, you're not coming in here, and you overcame fear? And what was that experience like for you? Or maybe you weren't able to overcome fear, because that happens as well. I mean, we're human.
I think that was all very, very, very well said, as usual. If you guys know, and you guys have stuck around for a while listening to our podcast, you know that Marilyn always crafts up the most beautiful, perfect words. But yeah, first and foremost, I think we can all say, like, congratulations. You did that. I know will forever mean a lot to you. This was more than just, we talked about this off, this was more than just getting a master's. Like, it was a lot of like discipline. It was a lot of like sacrifices, a lot of just putting your mindset in something you've didn't think you would ever put yourself in. So yeah, congratulations, you did that. I hope you guys who are listening are feeling just as proud and sending good vibes to Marilyn as I am, and as I know others in her life are as well. But yeah, just very beautifully said. You brought something up that made me think as well of this quote slash video that I had seen on social media. Same thing pertaining to God, but like we mentioned, disclaimer, or not disclaimer, but you guys can, whatever you believe in, just take it, you know, universe or whatever that may be. But it did say that when you are constantly in fear and you're not having that faith, you are getting actually closer to the devil. That's what he wants you to be and to have, so that he can have more hold of you. Versus when you have faith and that positivity and that I will do this, I trust that this is going to happen, I trust myself, then you are closer to God. And so
your higher self. Your higher self, yeah.
So I immediately thought of that, and I know that was something that I started thinking about, like, wow, like, why am I letting the devil get the best of me and like get closer to him? Like, I want to be close to him, I want to be closer to God. So it is something to think about moving forward, and that I thought about when you were talking.
I was just gonna say, I think I've seen a similar video, and what's funny is that I kept, every time I would take a break from studying, I would go on Instagram, and I kept seeing videos exactly on that message. Maybe it was the same video, I'm not sure, but I kept seeing videos about fear. And it wasn't until the Joel Osteen episode where I actually like put it into practice, because I feel that we all know that fear is not a good thing, and that we have to believe, right? The Disney thing of believe in yourself. Like, we all know these messages, right? But it's when you put it into practice is when it actually will take root into your heart. And I just wanted to say that because I feel that I've always known this, right? But it took until then that I actually felt that. Like, I feel just not scared of anything anymore. I feel that everything that I want will come to pass because I've seen God do it before.
That's good that you mentioned that. I think that's something that I challenge everyone listening and us to start practicing next year. Because yeah, it is nice to see all these inspirational quotes, or to have a moment of inspiration, but are you going to continue to practice it, or are you just going to let it slide and like forget about it the next time something happens, or next year, or whatever the case might be? In terms of me answering the question, I guess I started thinking about the time I was applying for my current role. You guys have heard the story before, but just to recap, I had lost my job. I was at my previous job for like years, so it was like I grew up there. And so one day, when COVID hit, I ended up losing my job. Anyways, fast forward, the company that I work in right now, I was working there seasonal. I got offered the opportunity to work there for just like a couple months. It was like during their holiday season. There was an opportunity for me to get hired full-time after. So this was definitely just a way for me to get my foot in the door. And anyways, I ended up falling in love while I'm working seasonally. Like, I was like, wow, like, I love this company. I love like the culture, what it stands for, what we do, everything. And so when the opportunity came, when my seasonal job was coming to an end, there were opportunities for me to raise my hand and see if they can hire me full time. And I had the fear for a split second, because I was like, wow, like, if I don't get this opportunity, then I'm back to square one, right? I'm gonna have to start looking for a new job, start fixing my resume again, going in that whole like journey. But something in me, like, I remember, like, I had my first interview with the recruiter at the time, and yeah, it was like a whole like energy shift. Like, I was just like, I got it. Like, I'm gonna work here. Like, I know I'm gonna work here. Like, this is where I'm meant to be, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know that you know, my company might want a Jazmine, and you know, to be a part of them. And yeah, I remember after that interview, I continued to interview come the final interview. Like, this was it. Like, they were going to let me know in a couple of days whether I got the job or not. Yeah, I remember walking to my car. I got in. I called my boyfriend. We spoke about it for a bit, and then I told him, like, oh, give me a second, like, I'll call you back. And then I just remember playing Ariana Grande on my drive, like, just for a split second driving home, because I just had that, like, energy. Like, it was Successful by Ariana Grande. Yeah, I feel like that's, like, our song. And it was just awesome because I just, like, walked out, like, claiming all of that. Like, yep, I'm successful. Like, I'm going to work here. I know it. I got it. And, yeah, sure enough, I got the call, like, the next day or something. And now I'm about to hit 3 years at this company. So, yeah, that's my little story of where I put faith over fear and, like, confidence in myself and in the work that I know that I can bring to the table.
I love that story, and you could have definitely let fear take root and just had so much anxiety, been nauseous and all that stuff, and just, you're like, I'm not good enough, or there's so many more qualified people. You know, you could have thought all those things, but instead you're like, no, I'm successful. Like, just like, I know we like this other song by Ariana Grande called Just Like Magic. Like, it's just pretty much manifesting what you want for your life. And I think just also singing those types of songs and just, like, feeling it. You're like, yes, like, what I want, it'll come to pass type of thing. So I love that story. It's definitely a perfect story for this question. And please journal and comment down below your guys' answer. And I just want to also say that I know that it can be hard when people tell you things or make you feel a certain way. And I just wanted to touch on this of believing in yourself as well when things, like, are difficult, or even when people are trying to, like, put you down or make you seem, I don't know, unworthy or something like that. Because I actually have a story, and I don't think that the people within the story will hear this podcast. I hope not, because I don't. I hope it's only people like you guys listening to this. But pretty much I had somebody in my life that just made me feel, or tried to make me feel, like I wasn't smart enough, or that there was a possibility of me failing. And they really did think that. I think that they thought that I barely passed, or that I just passed by, like, just, like, barely. You know, I really feel that by the way that they were treating me and talking to me. And what's funny is that one of my professors had told me after class that my professor that grades our exam that I'm telling you about, she had told me that she's raving about me and my exam, and just telling everybody in the English department how well I did. And she said, so this is her quote, she said that your exam was one of the best exams that she's ever graded in her life. And in that moment, I remember I was in my car, and I just, you know, like, a little tear fell, because I think that meant everything to me that she told me. Because not only did I pass the exam, which is a big deal, but I excelled at the exam. You know, being called one of the best is a big deal at a university, is a big deal in any, like, at your job or whatever, in any part of your life. And I think that was, once again, God telling me, not only did you overcome your obstacles, but you, like, your cup overfilled. Like, you did better than you ever had thought. Because I think of, like, little me and just feeling like I'm not smart enough. I'm not, you know, I just never thought that I'd get my master's degree, ever. And so now that I have it, it means so much, because not only did I not want to do it, not only did I not believe in myself, but I was like, you did do it. And it meant a lot to me. And I just want to say that it is so important, the words that you say to yourself, but also to other people. Because one thing I'm going to do with my daughter is that anytime she says something like that, like, I can't do it, I'm not smart enough. No. You are smart enough. You are smart. You know, just putting those words of affirmations into children, because I feel that they're getting so many, even if, let's say, they have a positive home environment, they get so many negative things from outside people. So it's so important to fill your child yourself, your inner child, with love and confidence and those positive words of affirmations. So I think in the end of the day, and we're going to get into the New Year's episode in the next episode, but just making that vision board, manifesting, praying, meditating, all those things that you do within your life to have a dream come to pass is so important. Think about the words that you're saying about yourself. Even how I was saying, I tried to do this where I was like, I love school, and I was trying to like kind of gaslight myself into saying I love school. That didn't work, but I think changing the narrative of I excel at school. I may not like it, but it's okay. You know, you don't have to love everything that you do. But yeah, just changing that narrative in your mind about yourself, you know, because some things can take root, and if you're saying something about yourself, it can come to pass because your words are so powerful. Like, for instance, if you say you're sick, like, oh, I always get sick during Christmas, I always get sick, and then you get sick during Christmas. It was most likely your mentality of like, you're expecting, and your body's like, well, it's time to get sick, you know? So it's important to say, no, I'm in good health, I'm healthy, I will heal, I will overcome, I will do this, I will do that. Like, speak out what you want for your life, and remember not to let faith take root. And I know that's very difficult, but it's super important, and I just feel very, very, very happy. I know, before we end this podcast, I just did want to share with you on my comprehensive exam, test results release day I took it on Friday, we found out on Sunday, and I was at Universal Studios, and one of my classmates messaged me on my Apple Watch, and it said the results are in, and I was like, and I went to my email and it said congratulations, and I literally was like, I was just crying in front of all the strangers, and I was just so happy. And so that did tell me as well, like, maybe you wanted it more than you think you wanted it, because I always say, like, I didn't want to go to school, which is true, but maybe I did want to deep down. I just don't know it, because why am I so happy? I don't know.
I think this episode comes at a really, really good time as we wrap up the year 2023. Cheesy, but new year, new you, right? New ways of incorporating things in your life, growth, etc. So I think this was a perfect episode to kind of get us towards that direction, and for the other episodes that we have planned for you guys. But Marilyn, congratulations. We are so happy for you. And hopefully, again, all of you guys who are listening or watching us can send that positive energy and love towards Marilyn, because she deserves it. But yeah, faith over fear, message of this podcast. Hope you guys journal and practice that in your life, and reflect on moments or upcoming moments or even present moments that you have right now where you can have that thinking of, let me have faith over fear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know you guys will do amazing, and this upcoming year, we'll see you on December, I think it's the 1st or 2nd, but it's like right after New Year's, and above all else,
we wish you love.